Hey, we're live. Can't believe it. I've just reset my Chromebook. Happy St. George's Day, Pete. What me? I never did that. So hopefully this will be better now because I've reset the device. Yeah. So happy days. Hang on, let me check. Make sure there's no one at my gate. 2 secs, peeps, while people come in. We should have a better thing now. This should be better. I've just reset this Chromebook. So it is what it is. So far, so good. Lovely to see you, people. It's St. George's Day today. The horse is coming back now. They've been out riding. So I'm just testing this connection right now. Let me see if I can share this. Let's share this on just wait for me a sec. I'm just going to share this through Facebook and other media outlets so we can share this out. And we're going to roll some information out to you today, people. Oh yes, that seems pretty good. I'm liking this. I couldn't understand why it weren't working, but anyway, perseverance and all that. Perseverance. Right, so we've just shared it out onto there. So let's just share it again to MeWe. MeWe's a great platform, by the way. Unbiased, very unbiased. So just bear with me, guys, and then we're going to have a chat about stuff that's going on in the world today. Right, so we're shared out. Let's just wait for a few to come in. Shut that door. Right, yeah, we do. We seem to have a bit of a better connection today. So thanks for tuning in. Nice to see you. Vaccines are going to be available. Fancy releasing a vaccine on St. George's Day. I think we don't pay attention to what goes on. Let me see if I can find this story. Oh, the Joseph Blair brothers. The Blair brothers are up and running. So tonight we'll probably have all the NHS people clapping again. I've heard Ronald McDonald's turning up. They're going to have fireworks, karaoke, singing, etc. Now, I'm just peeps. I tell you, I don't get it. That's the thing. That's all I want to say on that subject. I don't get it. I don't get the clapping. I don't get the laughing. I don't get the celebration. Celebrations are like when people get married, wed, have bar mitzvahs and all that. If there's people in hospital dying from a little boogeyman virus called COVID-19, I would, if I always try to say to myself, put yourself in. I'm loving this live stream, by the way. This is beautiful. No interference, all because I've just reset this Chromebook, which is fantastic. I'm so chuffed, so excited. If I put myself in that environment, say I'm quite compassionate. I am quite compassionate. Please comment in the feed as well. I just find it hard to smile, laugh, and make videos if people are dying and families are grieving. I don't personally understand it, and I never ever will. To me, it's a bit of an outrage. Personally, as a personal thing, I don't speak for everyone. My friend Cheryl Kocher this morning, she says, I've been walking out and about today. I'm pleased to say Hull Royal Infirmary looks like it's starting to get back to normal. National Health staff enjoying what looked like their break, either sitting in the front garden enjoying their lunch out in the sunshine. If you know HRI, which is Hull Royal Infirmary, you'll know what I mean, or enjoying as their cigarettes or e-cigs on Annabley Road. I was very pleased to see no social distancing or wearing masks. It does seem to me. Hello, Robbie Norris. Hello, darling. We've got better connections now. I'm just waiting for the rest of me paint to turn up so I can finish painting this office out. The night time, it looks pretty spectacular on my live feeds. But I have had trouble this last week trying to get this up and running. So now this morning, I've just reset my Chromebook because I bought this from somebody else, and it does seem, touch wood, fingers crossed, it does seem that we're in the zone right now and things are going good. So empty hospitals, people, empty hospitals. And the scary thing for me is that yesterday, so we got 3 horses, right? I've got 3 horses. I could show you actually if I span the camera around. I don't know if I can spin the camera around. Can I spin the camera around? Probably not. There was someone out walking their horse they were riding their horse actually yesterday, and someone's come out and just gone mental at them. I'm like, what's what's going on in the world, peeps? What is going on in the world? It's disgraceful. My friend Paul Dacres, I'm just picking up on some Facebook streams here. Mainstream media now pretending that people were allowed to attend funerals all along. So yeah, if your loved ones die, you can't go to the funerals. They just go to incinerators. They go in the ground, whatever. It's a national scandal. And what that is you've got a situation where you've got a group of people that have become socially dominant and they're exercising like a communistic, fascist dictatorship. And that's not right, peeps. That's not right. There was actually the United Nations Declaration in 1948 that is very powerful. It's very, very powerful. The camera is so powerful, peeps. Look, one of these is so powerful. You've got cameras on them. It records. It doesn't lie. All right. It really doesn't lie. So that's fantastic. We had a copper the other day that had two gentlemen individuals, and I think the gentleman individual that the PC, the police constable, was questioning wasn't happy, and he said, "Look, I'll get you locked up." He said, "I don't care. I'll make something up." So that's unbelievable when you live in a country and your public servants have turned on you. They've really turned on you. So this copper said, right, I'll make something up. And this was a report in The Guardian. The Guardian done a great reporting on this. And the copper has been suspended. Now, whether he's going to be sacked or not, I don't know. So that's good news. The camera and the evidence that was caught on the camera of this copper saying, "I will fit you up, I will make something up, and you will go inside," was amazing. And the man has now been suspended, and rightly so. The man doesn't deserve to be wearing that uniform. We've got a friend here, Nikki Fowler, on Facebook. She's sharing a post from yesterday. All NHS workers outside, all clapping, and well, actually, it looks like they're praying, which is a good thing. Praying is very, very good. No masks, no distancing. And what about the patients while they're all outside singing for half an hour? So this hospital yesterday, actually, it looks like it's abroad. It doesn't look like it's in England. But they're outside the front of the hospital. And the thing is with it, they're using our NHS as we love our NHS. We generally do. I'll tell you something about the National Health Service, right? The National Health Service come about a long time ago, in the 30s, I do believe. Might have been slightly later than that. Actually, might have been after the war, when Nye Bevan decided that, we needed a free, at the point of free delivery, a health system that cared for people. And Nye Bevan I'd suggest probably turning in his grave, because the NHS has been taken over by the government. Because we used to have a government that was kind of for the people, by the people. He should be prosecuted, Kerry Roberts says. Yeah, he should be prosecuted, Kerry Roberts. Thanks for popping in, sweetheart. Frank Roberts is in. Are you two partners, by any chance? I'm just putting it out there. I'm not too sure. We've got two people with the same last name, Roberts. On the news, you can use an app that tells people who you are. What next? Exactly. You've got no freedoms in this country. You've got to wake up, peeps. You truthfully, and I've been coming on for years to try and just get people to wake up. I really have. If you've not seen a fantastic documentary called Out of the Shadows, I would ask anyone to go and watch it. Frank Roberts, no, that's all right, mate. That's no right. No relations. That's kind of weird, man. We've just seen Kerry Roberts pop up and have a comment, and then we've seen Frank Roberts, and I'm like, oh, that's bizarre. It's fantastic. That's gorgeous. So outoftheshadows.org, and I would suggest that anybody go and watch it. I don't care who you've got in your family. If you say to them, look, let's sit down, let's watch this documentary, and I want your honest opinion at the end of it. I just want you to tell me what you made of it. Man, I tell you, it is it's just beautiful. And it's had over 12 million views so far. It really has. It's called Out of the Shadows, and you should have a good look at that. Our friend here, Courtney Witchard, says COVID 1984. Well, 1984 was George Orwell's Orwellian nightmare, and we do live in a socialistic time. And I hate the word social. If ever there was a word that I could throw in the bin of history and say no, thank you, we don't want it no more. But there's a few words. One of them would be legal. I'd love to throw the word legal into the bin and put it into the bin of history and never let it back out. And social distancing, socialism, social clubs, social gatherings, anything with the word social or socialism, I would love to stick it in the bin of history, because socialism is a bad thing, people. I want you to understand fundamentally that socialism is bad. It's not a good thing. It is the will of a few imposing on the many, and we are many. I've just seen a post this morning where, and apparently it was last year, but 4 or 5 police constables in Hull, Hull, which is up that part of the country in England, they got a guy and they broke his leg. They broke his leg and threw him in the back of a police wagon and shunted him off down the trains to the police station. I can't handle that. I can't handle the fact that public servants. And what happens when you've got the mentality of, we can cuff you, we can asp you, we can taser you, we can put spray in your face, we can kill you. And they do kill people in cells. And it's sad, it's tragic, it's very, very tragic. But from that mentality of why this is happening. Hello, Adam Cox, nice to see you, brother. That's ownership. That's ownership, people. That is an ownership program. And that's disgusting. In 2020, we have a government in this country that considers us to be owned. To be owned. And where does it come from? It all comes from this, the birth certificate. I've shown you this before. This is the UK birth certificate. This one's very, very, very old. This is from the 60s, when the Beatles and all that was going on, and Mary, what was her name? The singer. She was knocking around with what's her bloody name? Mick Jagger. She was knocking around. Mary Ann Fayfield or something. I can't think. Anyway, she was doing naughty things with bits and bobs like Mars bars and whatever. So look, this is what they own and control, right? And you've pretty much all got one of these. But what you've got to understand is this is a split title, right? Because you've got the name where it says names. That's the Christian side. And the surname is the decedent dead estate. That's the trust. And I hope you can make the difference between the two. So what happens with this, if you emanate from the Christian side and that you use the Bible, you come into your inheritance and you become the sole beneficiary of the trust. And if you go to court for any issue, civil issue, whatever it is, what you do is you go in with this, all right? This is your proof of that you're the beneficiary of the trust. This is the proof that you're the beneficiary. And because the barrister or the prosecutor is bringing, he's presuming to be the beneficiary. Well, he can't be, because you're the living, breathing soul that's walking around with this, all right? So you're the beneficiary. So you say to the prosecutor, are you bringing fraud upon the court? Because you're misleading the court that you are the beneficiary where you're not. You're the trustee. So this is a powerful thing when you use it right. When you use it as the Christian and you understand that the surname is an estate, and all government operates on is an estate and a trust, and that you put these two together, my word, let me tell you, peeps, you're going to start knocking it out of the park, and then you're going to come back into freedom. I've not come on here for too long this morning. I've come on here to test this because I've now fixed my live stream, and I appreciate all of your patience in watching all the buffering and that's gone on this last week. I mean, we've had 16, 17 minutes on thus far, and it's fantastic that we've not had any interference. And it's all because I've reset this device, which is good. So fantastic. I'm loving this. Let's see some of the comments. Adam Cox says the UK government have declared war on the people they should be serving. Absolutely right. So much corruption happening. The truth is not told, but it is learned. Yes, Rob. Rob, that's a really powerful thing. That's a really powerful thing to say. Many of these policemen have lost sight of their roles and little more than political henchmen. That's exactly what they are. They're spot on. They're political henchmen. They are just like the Wehrmacht in Germany that were imposing the will of the National Socialist Party. Let's have it right. Let's have this right. They were imposing the will of the National Socialist Party, right? Now, they've used our National Health Service to soften us and to bring in this lockdown with this virus, because how other would they do this? If the police come out on the news today and said, right, we're locking you lot down, you're going into your houses, you're going into prison, you can't go out unless it's for this, that, you descend onto the streets in no time. So they wouldn't be able to do that like that. And the army, I've got a very good friend of mine, Tim Scott, who's ex-military. And I said to Tim yesterday, we was having some voicemails. I said, would the army ever sort of turn on the people? And he went, no. He said, absolutely no chance. He said the British Army would not do that. He said the police, on the other hand, I can't answer for because they are a Stasi. And this is from a military man. So the army and the police, it's like, what is going on, peeps? You're supposed to have the mentality of the army that you're protecting and serving the sovereign people of this country, and you're not. You're serving the sovereign people of a government that have got you lot weaponized, protecting them, and they call you their dogs. That's the sad part about it, that you can't see. And I would never, if I was in a position where I was looking after people's interests, I would never call anybody my dog, but they call you their dogs. And the police are known by politicians to be their dogs. It's disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. So the army couldn't impose its will on us in this country, not a chance. First of all, we've not got the numbers, unless you bring in a European Union. Don't even get me started on Brexit. I mean, that's just disappeared, isn't it? No one's talking about Brexit. Everyone's in fear. They're all corona. You're just all in fear. It's got to stop. You've got to come out of this fear mentality. You truthfully have. But they've used the NHS. They've used and abused. They've used the NHS as a pawn in a chess game, to pull on everybody's heartstrings and to let you know that there's this little boogeyman out there. Well, people, I can tell you that I've got friends, thousands and thousands and thousands of friends. I have thousands of friends. I've just said that a few times. I truthfully have. I've got people that are working for funeral directors, And the stuff that they're telling me, and this is straight talk. All right, we do straight talk here. There's no control. There's no media bias. There's none of that going on in this country. None at all. We on this channel, there will be none of that going on. All right, we won't tolerate that. So they're telling me some nefarious things, that our bodies are coming into the funeral directors and how they're to be treated, and that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. There's no coroner's reports. It's disgraceful. It's a proper usurping of what we thought was fair, just, and right, and it's got to stop. I've got people that work for the NHS saying, Dave, something's highly irregular here, because we're just not busy. We're not busy. And I'm like, well, if there was a pandemic, and if we look back to the times of the plague, etc., people used to throw their dead out, and people on horse and carts would come along and pick them bodies up, and they'd come down the street shouting out, throw out your dead. And people were tougher back then. People had a different kind of resilience back then. They were tough. They were tough people. The people were dying, sure enough, but they got on with it. They didn't whinge. They didn't say, I've got a splinter. They were tough. They were hard. And we've become a nation of people that, we're over-vaccinated. Vaccination for me is the cause of so much. We've got 1 in 2 people now with cancer in this country. You've got to ask yourself, where's it coming from? Vaccinations, bad food, fizzy drinks, bad health, microwaves. It's what we're doing to one another. And I don't want a country that has a disease-ridden people all on pharmaceutical drugs. I want a country of greatness. I want a country of great people. I want a country where our public servants actually improve our lives, where they're not mugging us over. Does that make sense? That's the kind of country I want to live in. I really do. Talk about protests in London by the end of the month regarding COVID-19. I think that could be coming, Frank. But protests don't do anything. Protests and petitions, it's begging. I'm sorry, peeps. It's just begging. Unless you need to formulate and take some proper, peaceful, direct action. And you need people that can funnel that energy, because everyone in this country and around the world are all bumbling around. We all know things are wrong, but there's no one bringing stuff together. And we need to bring stuff together. We need to be the head of an arrow tip. We need to have focus. We need to have direction, and we need to know where we're going. We need that. And protesting and petition it's just a form of begging people. It really, really is. And it's what we've known. It's what we're used to. But this is the reason why we're in such a mess in this country. It's because of that reason. We are. That's where we're at. We're in a bad place. So, peeps, I will be back with you, gorgeous, beautiful souls, later today, early evening. What's today? Thursday. Oh, we're on Thursday. So what I'll do, I do my Wake Up UK show every Thursday at 9 o'clock till 10:15. And what I'll do, I'll live stream on this device at the same time as I do my Wake Up UK. So we'll be on for an hour and a quarter at 9 o'clock tonight. So if you wish to tune in, you can also go to Wake Up UK, which is a growing site and platform, hosted by Jason Tyler, which is amazing. And you can just, if you go to the Zoom link, or there's a picture of me on the Wake Up UK website, you can just go to my picture profile, click on it, it'll take you to the Zoom link. You can always tune in, you can come and interact, we can have a debate and a discussion, which has been shut down in this country. I've never known this country, and I'm 53 this year. What is going on right now is unnatural, it's wrong, and I will leave you with this until I see you tonight. the point of life and living is to be free. If you're not free, there is no point. Truthfully, there is no point. So, Pete, I will see you if you want to tune in at 9 o'clock tonight, where I'll be live streaming here live and doing Wake Up UK at the same time. I have guests come on, so you'll be hearing them and the interaction. And this little room lights up of a night time. It becomes it's quite nice. And I shall finish the painting at the weekend. But I'm beautifully pleased that this is now working pretty spot on, because I've reset this device. And happy days. I will see you all later on tonight. Take care of yourselves, and please share, please like and subscribe. I need more subscribers, because once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can then go live on my iPads and we can have far more of an interaction and far more of a laugh. All right. You take care of yourselves, people. You're all lovely and you're all blessed, and I'll see you soon.